And this is from 8 years ago. Oh, well, that is so old in YouTube years. But we're gonna still watch it anyway because it's MatPat. Alrighty, I'm curious about this. Is Ness Sans from Undertale? Is it a cross between Earthbound and Undertale? We'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out, guys.
Can you imagine a world where we're all represented by a font? Huh, wonder which one I would be. Too straight. No, not in that way, just straight, as in unexciting.
Oh my god.
Deadpool.
Hey, I used that font a couple of times.
Broadway! Now that's the one, now that's the one!
Yeah. Oh my god, his intro! His intro! Oh my god. Oh, I miss this so much. I miss the intro.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, where, instead of putting a joke here, I want to ask you a question. If your personality were represented by a font, what font would you be? Take a moment and put your font in the comments.
Well, okay. Usually I use this font a lot. Especially, you know, if you look at the top right corner, with the panels flashing, I always use Atma. ATMA Atma, but bold. I always use that one because, you know, it kind of gives me like that bubbly feeling, but also at the same time, it's like bright and you can actually see the words, especially if it's capitalized. So I always use the Atma, font.
I'm really curious to see what everyone has to say. Maybe find a couple new cool fonts to use. Getting bored with old Calibri 11. And with that out of the way,
Calibri is
it's time to talk
boring.
Undertale. Now, I don't think I've ever gotten this many requests to cover a game. Well, except for FNAF. And I suppose FNAF 2. Oh, and then there was FNAF 3. Wait a minute, should I be worried about something here? Anyway, across the board,
You're destined to
YouTube,
cover
Reddit,
FNAF all the
Twitter,
time.
You all have wanted Undertale. And honestly, I'm
Hell
glad
yeah.
you brought it to my attention. True loyal theorists will know that Earthbound is my favorite game of all time. So a self-aware RPG in a similar...
Look at that. This is very similar. Holy shit. Well then, I can see the inspiration, Toby Fox.
Style? Oh man, it's like a gift from the indie gaming heavens. Undertale is a game where every character, from Goat Mom to Grind Fodder, has a sympathetic design and unique personality, motivations, goals, fears. Whether you're saving or slaughtering them, the game makes you feel something every time you enter an encounter.
It does. I love playing Undertale, Deltarune.
All the rest. Sans, a skeleton named after the font Comic Sans, hence all the font references at the beginning of the episode. If you haven't played Undertale,
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, he's a
Anyway, Sans is, well,
he's a font.
There's a lot of mystery around this guy. And before we get into it, let me put up a very special spoiler warning. Undertale is a game best experienced blind. So if you haven't played it, pause the video and come back after you've finished.
Joke's on you. I already played it. I already played it. I played the pacifist route and the neutral route. And Deltarune, I did a complete pacifist route. So, no spoiler alert. I know my details. I'm catched up.
I promise you won't regret it. Alright, so everyone out of the pool and ready for the adult swim? Good, because I'm feeling pretty determined to get to the bottom of Sans' mystery. So just to recap for those of you who haven't played the game and ignored the spoiler warning or just need a refresher, Sans is one of the two skeletal brothers who appear in the game. His partner is Papyrus, a loud, goofy trap lover also named after a font. But in the world of Undertale, their origins are a big question mark. All that we really know is what's given to us by a shopkeeper in Snowden.
Oh yeah, this shopkeeper. I remember I voiced her in somebody's gameplay. It was fun though. It was cool giving her that voice. Hold on, I'm gonna demonstrate it for you. Hello, traveler. How can I help you? I gave her that voice. It was fun.
Explains that Sans and Papyrus, quote, just showed up one day and asserted themselves. Weird, right? What's more is that, while Papyrus is just kinda the goofy sidekick, Sans is much more complex. Sure, he likes fart jokes, but he's also incredibly powerful and deadly serious.
Oh my god, that close up, bro.
The hardest in the game, he's one of the only characters to have knowledge and power over space and time. He often takes shortcuts around the world through ridiculous routes, even
that's what I noticed.
walls. He also acknowledges that he's only one of infinite versions of himself.
Wait, what? Hold up. Now I gotta think about this. He's one of many versions of himself? What the f? Did that explain him, like, time traveling every place? Sans, one of the most broken gaming characters of all time. Yeah, I remember I had to fight him. He was like, ooh, he was so hard, bro. He was so very hard.
Making self-aware commentary of the various timelines that you've played through in the game. He can even count the number of times he's killed you. He acts like an arbiter in this world, passing out judgment on the player's actions in the game, even explaining the secrets of EXP and love, or execution points and levels of violence.
Oh my god.
In short, he just doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the world of monsters. But then
why though?
What? Or who is he? Well, the idea that he doesn't belong in Underworld seems to be correct. The evidence seems to point to the fact that he was, in fact, formerly a surface dweller. In the true pacifist ending of the game, as the group looks out onto the horizon, Papyrus asks Sans about the giant ball in the sky. Sans says, quote, "We call that the sun." This is important because A, the usage of the word we and knowledge of the sun shows that Sans has a kinship or knowledge with other humans, and B, that despite he and Papyrus both being skeletons, are supposedly brothers, and apparently appeared in Underworld at the same time, they clearly have two very different histories. Why would Papyrus not know the name of the sun, but Sans would?
That's very interesting. I wonder, maybe it has to play with Papyrus' upbringing? Maybe? Papyrus could be a human too, I don't know, but in this case, it looks like Sans knows everything. It might be true that he came from the surface, but in reality, the shopkeeper did say that Sans and Papyrus showed up out of nowhere and just asserted themselves. Then, you know, they have to gone through something in order to be walking around like skeletons, but alive, you know? They have to be humans. They have to be. Ain't no way. Also, with the brother thing, I don't know if they're really related or Sans just calls Papyrus his brother because they're like, oh, we're bones, so we must be brothers, or I could adopt you as my brother. Why not? I don't know. I'm getting curious about this right now.
We get further clues as to Sans' origin as we hear him say multiple times that he wants to go home, or go back. He says as much during his dinner date scene at the Metaton Hotel. He notices that the player must want to go home and says, quote, "I know the feeling." He then continues, maybe sometimes it's better to take what's given to you, as though he ended up in Underworld by accident. And in a genocide run during his boss fight, he says, quote, "Look, I gave up trying to go back a long time ago," end quote. And before you say he means going back to the surface world, that's clearly not the full story. His very next line of dialogue is, "And getting to the surface doesn't really appeal anymore either." Key word here.
What? What? Oh my god. How did I miss that? In one of my gameplays from years ago. How did I miss that? What the f?
Is either. Yes, he seems to hail from the surface and wants to go back, but based on his dialogue, he no longer considers it his home. It's as though the surface world he once knew is gone, as though he's from a different time. It's pretty intriguing. So we're left with a being that appeared out of nowhere, presumably from the human surface, but from a different time period, who seemingly has the power to teleport. That's a lot of questions and not a lot of answers. But here's where things get really interesting. Sans has a hidden workshop that takes a fair amount of searching to find. You could say it takes a lot of determination to unlock. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, shut up, shut up, shut up. Not the determination factor. Oh my god. I think MatPat is onto something. He literally is saying that Sans knows about this information. Yet he didn't really fully explain his Coco, did you know that you're absolutely adorbs? No, you adorbs. What are you talking about? Everybody's adorable. That made me blush, goddammit.
Anyway, obligatory determination references aside, as you start to look for this Easter egg, Sans gives you a key to his room with the words, "It's time you learn the truth." After some searching, you find the workshop, which contains items that leave even more questions. A photo album featuring Sans and a bunch of smiling people you don't recognize, a badge, blueprints with illegible handwriting, and a broken machine hidden behind a curtain. In the latest update, one more detail was added, a hand-drawn picture of 3 smiling faces with the words, "Don't forget." So what's it all mean? Well, a lot of...
Don't forget, brother. That's one of the songs. That's one of the songs from Deltarune. Oh my god. Yo, they're really onto something. Toby Fox, why you must do this to me?
Undertale theorists have been linking these details to a mysterious figure named W.D. Gaster, a ghostly character who never truly appears in the game. Honestly, covering him is a theory all unto itself.
Oh my god, that thing scared me.
Day. Even still, none of the Gaster theories I've seen have been able to explain all the details. In particular, the photo album and the badge. And that's what kept nagging me as I researched Undertale. A badge? That one in particular really stuck out to me. Why would such
what kind of badge? What are you talking about?
Item be included in this huge Easter egg of a room, something that supposedly reveals the truth about Sans. Badges just aren't important in Undertale. And then it hit me. What if it wasn't from Undertale? What if
could it be from somewhere else?
A completely different game and was in fact the most important badge in the history of gaming, the Franklin badge. Now, for those of you wondering what I'm talking...
Oh, wait a minute. I think I remember that badge. I keep seeing that in the Super Smash Brothers. Every time I play that game, they always play with that badge. It's one of the items that you get to summon. Well, it depends if you turn it on, but yeah, I remember that badge.
Talking about, the Franklin badge is a pivotal item from the Mother series. You know, the one with Earthbound. Or maybe you don't know that one either. You know, the one that Ness from Super Smash Brothers. Yeah,
yeah,
well,
that's what I'm talking about.
Earthbound is the second part in this larger Mother trilogy. Alright? Good. Anyway, the Franklin badge is a really important part of that series. It gets its start in the very first game and carries through the whole trilogy, saving your life multiple times in the process. It's so important that Nintendo has made it a staple item in the Smash Brothers series. So I asked myself,
told you! I know my
Sans' drawer was that exact badge. Well, first off, it'd make Undertale connected to my favorite game, thereby making it even cooler. But that's still a pretty big logical leap.
Good for you.
I needed more. And let me tell you, as I started looking, more and more pieces started to fit into place. At the end of Earthbound, you're given a photo album covering your adventures throughout the game. To me, it's one of the best, most satisfying endings in gaming to look back on your journey in picture form. And what does Sans happen to have in his other drawer? A photo album filled with pictures of Sans with people you don't recognize. Of course, you don't know them. They're not characters present in Undertale. And note the word that's used here. People you don't recognize, not underworld monsters. So that's 2 items oddly linked to the Mother series.
Ooh! Ooh, this is getting good. Holy shit. Yo, are you for real? Are you trying to say that Sans came from Ness's world, or... Wait, if you're trying to say that Sans is Ness, then how do you explain the other wardrobe change? What? Like, could he not fit into those clothes anymore, so he has to change to the current outfit that Sans have? Now they gotta explain that factor. How do you change clothes?
But then, how do the blueprints and broken machine fit in? Well, in the final stretch of Earthbound, Ness and his 3 friends must travel to the past in order to have their final battle against the evil alien Gygus. To do that, Dr. Andonuts, remember him by the way, he's gonna be important later, with the help of the science geniuses Apple Kid and Mr. Saturn, create what's known as the phase distorter, a machine that allows people to travel through time and space.
Oh, that's what that thing is? I thought you used it to throw it at other opponents for Super Smash Bros. Melee. That's how I recognize that item.
Except it comes with a cost. It can't transport organic material. As a result, the young heroes must put their souls into robotic bodies to use the machine and thus save the world. I played this game back in 1997, and I'm not ashamed to admit that when I first saw this scene, I cried. It's devastating. Dr. Andonut says goodbye to his son. These characters that you've grown to love and care about are suddenly promising to sacrifice their
I never
lives.
play
For all they
Earthbound, but
know,
I'd
there's
love to
no
try it.
possibility of them being able to come back home. It's this incredibly dark departure in the final moments of what was otherwise a fun, quirky, and colorful RPG. So what's all this have to do
It
with
does look
Undertale?
cool.
A lot, actually. But the first thing you need to know is that Mr. Saturns are known for their, let's say, unique linguistic style. That would explain the
Jesus.
illegible handwriting on the blueprints. And the machine, I think a broken phase distorter is behind that curtain. Now that may seem like a stretch, but it actually explains a lot. If Sans wound up in Underworld via a phase distorter, it could provide a reason for why he's a skeleton. He used the machine as organic matter and suffered the consequences.
Oh, okay, that makes total sense. Okay, this one, I'm seeing good evidence right there. Yep, I can see it. I can definitely see it. No wonder Sans look like that. He doesn't have his flesh anymore. He's all bone. Poor Sans.
It's not killing him, but turning
And that probably might explain why he changed clothes. Maybe his clothes got wrecked, so he had to wear different clothes. Okay, that makes sense, though.
at least part of him into a pile of bones. It would also explain why Sans has given up hope for going home. Remember, the distorter is a time machine. By being in Underworld, he's not only in a different place, but based on how he talks, he's also in a different
thank you for the
time,
follow,
with
thank
no
you.
hope of traveling back to the time he came from. But the crossovers between Earthbound and Undertale continue. When you speak to the Apple Kid at the end of Earthbound, he's blown away by the astronomical odds of Ness overcoming Gygus, saying that he's going to continue studying the trait called courage in
A trait called courage. Ooh, wait. Would that explain the word determination come from? There's courage and then determination. They kind of like sound similar in a certain way. But I see how it is. Holy shit. Maybe Toby Fox took a reference from this game and put determination instead of courage. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
order to harness its power. Seems awfully similar to the same experiments happening in Undertale around the trait of determination, no?
That's what I said. Oh my god, I'm on the money. Oh my god, I'm learning so much now.
Especially since so much speculation has circulated that Sans is a key player in those experiments. But I'm sure you also want physical evidence, right? Well, don't worry, because
Yeah.
I have plenty. During one of the endings of Undertale, we see Undyne and Alphys hanging out on the beach on the surface
Favorite
world,
ship?
a
I
beach
ship
that
them so
shares
much.
a lot of similarities to the tropical resort location named Summers that you play through in Earthbound.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's another freaking art reference. Yo, they try to play with me. Yo, they make it so freaking similar. Oh my god.
In fact, the geographic layout of the surface bears some striking similarities to the world of Mother. When Undertale's crew of monsters are finally able to reach the surface and look out over the earth, they're met with a beautiful sunset falling across a landscape of a tall mountain, a large city, and a sandy area adjacent to water.
I thought that
Notice
was
the
a
sun's
castle, to be
reflection
honest.
to indicate water, and a lack of trees in this middle section here, hence the sand. Well, in Earthbound, you have the big city of Fourside, complete with skyscrapers, which you reach via a desert that just so happens to be adjacent to some water, and to the east, the mountain in Onet's, where a meteorite lands on Earth. I always called it Onnet, but if that's not clear enough for you, Mother 1, Earthbound 0, Earthbound Beginnings, whatever you want to call it, it's had a lot of names, had a map laying out the same geographic landscape, a tall mountain to the east of a large city, separated by a desert, with all of it up against a coast. I don't know about you, but to me it seems like there's a definite connection between the world of
Yo, they're onto it. They're onto it. Look at this. This is the exact location. Oh my god. Ain't no way that Toby Fox class his freaking game IP and put it into freaking Earthbound. How does he do this so freaking cleanly? Look at this. Hold on, wait. Let me put back the map. Look at that. Look at that. It's right there on the money. Holy crap.
Large city separated by a desert with all of it up against a coast. I don't know about you, but to me it seems like there's a definite connection between the world of Eagle Land, again, unclear how it's pronounced, between the world of Eagle Land and the surface world of Undertale. But the strongest physical connection, the one that definitely unites these two franchises, comes from none other than Papyrus himself. He wears a custom-made costume
really? Why
known
Papyrus?
as his battle body. But if you look really closely at the design of the armor, you'll notice some markings on the chest. Is it just a throwaway detail? Oh no! That right there is an exact match to the ones that appear on the chests of Starmen.
Oh, I recognize those guys. I recognize those from the Smash Brothers game. I remember they were deflect. They were annoying.
The most iconic enemy of Earthbound. And look at the way he stands. I always thought it was awkward until I looked at the two characters side by side. Papyrus's curved arm and hand is a direct match to the curved arms of the...
Oh my god, you're trying to say that Papyrus is that thing? Oh my god! So he may have melted too, and that's why he looks like that.
Starman in the Mother series. In short, we have some incredibly strong proof that the Earthbound universe is somehow connected to the Undertale world. Which brings us back to our initial question. Who is Sans? Well, what if we took it one final step and said that Sans happened to be Ness from Earthbound, sent through the phase distorter during a test of courage, carrying the Franklin badge and his photo album in his trusty backpack. Not only do all the items in the workshop suddenly fit, but so does Sans's behavior. Remember, Sans can seemingly teleport, and Ness just so happens to have the PSI ability to teleport. Now,
oh my god. Oh my god. I totally forgot about the teleportation thing. Oh man, I knew Ness had it, but now they're suspecting that Sans had it, and now they're just so freaking similar.
now look at the way Sans always stands. Hands in his pockets, directly facing the camera. It's a very similar stance to how Ness is depicted standing in most...
Ain't no freaking way. Yo, no. Toby Fox actually referenced Ness and put it as freaking Sans. Ain't no freaking way. He referenced the entire freaking game. Oh my god.
marketing for the game. It even explains why Sans bleeds when you finally hit him. He is, or at least was, a human. Oh, and finally, Sans is only one letter removed from being an anagram for Ness. That's just a fun one. I thought it was worth mentioning.
Oh my
but if there
god,
was any doubt, you have to look no further than the creator's previous work. Toby Fox, the man behind Undertale, had previously worked on a Halloween hack for Earthbound. But this just wasn't a simple reskin. The Halloween hack tells the tale of Dr. Andonuts after the events of Earthbound. Remember I pointed him out? He's the one who made the phase distorter. In Toby Fox's version of the story, we see that after Gygas's defeat, the souls of the kids never return home. Instead, by going to the past to defeat Gygas, they create a new timeline that they're stuck in. As a result, Jeff never reunites with his father, Dr. Andonuts. And Dr. Andonuts goes crazy with guilt because he's the one responsible for creating the time machine and extracting the souls of his son and his son's friends to send them back to what he assumes was their death. In his mind, he killed 4 kids. And in Toby Fox's game, he's lost his mind trying to deal with that guilt. I'm telling you, this hack is dark. But that said,
They
you
said
see
murder
a
too.
lot
God
of
damn it.
Undertale in this game. The appearance of amalgamates, the first use of the awesome song Megalovania, the prototypes for Flowey, and the theme of having the choice to be non-violent in an RPG, sparing your enemies. But then why's all this matter to the theory? Well, remember, in Toby Fox's version of the story, the kids don't come back. They're stuck in the past with no hopes of getting home, just like Sans. And
Like no hope, like hopes and dreams? Like hopes and dreams? Is that what you mean, Toby Fox?
And in the hack, one character is oddly missing, with no explanation as to why. Ness. Presumably in this timeline, his soul is in a different place than his 3 friends. Which brings us back to Undertale. 3 faces with "Don't forget" written on it, it's Ness trying to remember his 3 friends. In short, Undertale is a continuation of Toby's version of Earthbound, with Ness
Oh my god!
never being able to get home, adopting the name Sans, and accompanied by Papyrus, a former starman, an alien force able to speak English and still equipped with his armor and signature posture, but without any knowledge of earthly things, like the sun. The pieces all just seem to fit. And all we need is an appearance from Pokey/Porky, and we've got ourselves a true sequel. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
My mind is blown. My mind is exactly blown, guys. I freaking knew it. Yo, I didn't know that he made a Halloween pack for her Earthbound and referenced it to his freaking game. What? What? How long ago was this video uploaded? Hold on. February 9th, 2016. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was in college. But oh my god. What the f? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna like that video. But oh my god, that is so freaking cool. So, Undertale is Earthbound. But in Toby Fox's world, his version. Whoa. Holy cow, okay. Now I know.